Hello, everyone. You're here for the latest updates, and today we have some encouraging news regarding an injury that occurred during the match against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thankfully, the team managed to secure an 11-point victory, taking a 1-0 lead in the series. However, due to a hamstring strain, one of our key players will be sidelined for some time. We'll cover the details surrounding his expected absence throughout the series. But before diving into the specifics of the injury, make sure to stay tuned. We post videos whenever there are important developments regarding the team, especially major updates like this one. We're committed to delivering all the content you need, and we're also streaming every single game. Our community is already 93,000 strong, and we'd love for you to be a part of this journey. Be with us for Game 2 on Thursday, and count on us as your go-to source for everything related to the team. He will miss the upcoming game against Minnesota on Thursday, which, to be fair, was somewhat expected after the events of Game 1. What's remarkable is that this is the first muscle strain of his entire career, a testament to how well-conditioned he has always been. The timeline for his return remains uncertain, precisely because this is his first time going through a rehab process for this type of injury. Additional updates suggest he'll be out for at least a week. His return will depend on how the recovery progresses, especially since this is unfamiliar territory for him. For some added context, he exited Game 1 with 8 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter due to the injury, and the MRI results later confirmed the Grade 1 strain. He is scheduled to be re-evaluated in 1 week, but realistically, this means he will not only miss the next game, but likely more than one. This amounts to a minimum of a week's absence, and there's growing frustration with the playoff schedule itself. With only one game in between and little rest when teams are traveling, many are calling out the league for mismanaging the logistics of these critical matchups. The injury occurred when the player attempted to jump for a pass. Upon landing, he began favoring his hamstring, and the discomfort worsened as the minutes progressed, ultimately forcing him out of the game. It's truly surprising that this is his first muscle-related injury. Though he has dealt with ankle and minor knee issues before, he has always been in elite physical condition and is considered one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the sport. This injury brings new challenges. Grade 1 strains typically require 7 to 10 days for recovery, but factors like age, biomechanics, MRI specifics, and risk of recurrence can affect the timeline. And at 37 years old, age is no small factor in his recovery. While this news isn't ideal, it's a reality the team must face head-on. Time away from a game can vary significantly based on the athlete's age, movement patterns, imaging results, and the potential for injury. There's no denying that age plays a major role, especially for a player who is now 38. While it may not be the most exciting update, it's one that has to be dealt with. The team needs others to step up, and there's a collective hope that he'll return as soon as possible. But the top priority is ensuring he comes back at full strength so he can make a real impact, if he even gets the opportunity to return this series. Realistically, that return likely wouldn't happen before Game 5. The goal now is for the team to win at least one of the next 3 games to tie the series at 2-2 and hopefully have him back for the remainder of the series. He had prepared for a potentially exceptional performance in the Western Conference semifinals. In just 13 minutes during Game 1, he scored 13 points, going 5 for in overall and 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. It looked like he was on track for an outstanding series. He was finding space, creating separation on ISOs, and even taunting the defender. "Where are your shoes, my man?" He was shedding screens off ball, an area where Minnesota has struggled defensively all year. It felt like he was about to go off. The coach spoke with him after the game, but all he could do was hug him tightly. He couldn't find the right words. He knew how devastated the player was, knowing the level of commitment and daily effort he puts into being out there and leading this team. Naturally, he's heartbroken. This is one of the most dedicated athletes in all of sports. As previously mentioned, he was set up to average 35 points per game this series, and it genuinely felt like the opposing team would be in trouble. That's what's so disheartening. He was poised to peak at just the right time, and now we're left wondering what could have been. The team now faces a much tougher road ahead. Rhythm is difficult to find, and it's true that the opposing team might have struggled significantly. This may have opened the door for a legitimate conference finals run. That path is much tougher now, but the team has to press forward, and his teammates know this. They're fueled by his energy. One of his teammates shared how inspiring it is to see how he's elevated everyone to a higher standard. They feel his presence and support, even if he's not playing. No matter how long the road ahead is, they're ready to fight and chase wins. This isn't just about the next man up mentality, it's about unity. They're locking in on the fundamentals to pull off wins in these intense matchups. Without their key creator, they'll have to focus on second chance points, physical play, offensive boards, and live ball turnovers. That's the formula. It might allow their offense to flow more freely and reduce the need to generate high-quality shots or sustain high shooting percentages from deep and half-court sets. Even though the next man up mindset exists, what we're really seeing is total team alignment. Strategies to overcome adversity and win Game 2 are already underway and will be discussed shortly. Meanwhile, shifting gears to the current fantasy sports environment, the leading daily fantasy platform in the U.S. has made these games more accessible than ever. Here's how it works. Users choose a lineup of 2 to 6 players and decide whether they'll perform above or below projected stats. You can win up to 2,000 times your entry while watching your favorite sports live. I've been using it since before it exploded in popularity. They always find ways to enhance user experience, making it easier to win while watching games you love. Some perks include reduced projections for certain players on specific days and a risk-free refund up to $20 if your entry fails. Plus, if you use a promo code, you get $50 instantly after your first $5 entry. As for my pick for tonight's playoff action, I've got one player going over 28 points. I believe he's due for a bounce back. Another I've got under 27, since I don't think he hits that mark without overtime. And a third player I have going over 5.5 rebounds. He needs to dominate the boards. You can follow my picks or create your own. Just make sure to use the platform. Download the app today, use the promo code, and you'll get $50 guaranteed after your first $5 entry. No win required. All the information will be in the comments and video description. Looking at the current outlook, I imagine California basketball fans are understandably discouraged by this injury news, while Minnesota fans feel they now face a much less threatening opponent. They won't celebrate the injury, of course, but the dynamic has shifted. Honestly, I don't see California winning Game 2. We'll dive into the odds soon, but they aren't in their favor right now. One opposing player said, "It's a shame. This guy is one of the greats, and he wanted to compete against him." He knows how much easier the game becomes when that player is operating at his peak. Still, they're ready to face them even without him. It's not ideal, but they're prepared to adapt. One key player will have to take on a major role now. He's the team's best shot creator, space manipulator, and offensive presence. He needs to be aggressive, attacking the rim, drawing fouls, collapsing the defense, and finding open shooters. If his buddy on the wing stays active, he can knock down key shots too. This same player missed a chunk of the series against the Texas team, which slightly skewed his numbers, but he's averaging nearly 20 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists per playoff game. His shooting has been solid, and though he's hit just 7 of 24 from deep, about 29%, I'll accept that. He's often put in tough late-clock situations that force long-range heaves. Ideally, he'd be at 50%, but he knows how to respond when points are needed. And with the team's central piece gone, there will be plenty of such moments. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Joel Embiid, the towering center and reigning NBA MVP, has made one of the most shocking moves in recent NBA history by signing with the Golden State Warriors, sending shockwaves throughout the entire league. This unexpected decision has left fans, analysts, and rival teams stunned, as it completely alters the dynamics of the league and propels the Warriors into an even stronger championship contention. Embiid, who has spent his entire career with the Philadelphia 76ers, has long been considered one of the most dominant forces in the NBA. Known for his scoring ability, defensive prowess, and rebounding skills, the 7-foot big man has been the cornerstone of the 76ers franchise. However, After years of playoff disappointments and uncertainty surrounding the team's future, Embiid has opted for a fresh start with the Warriors, a team that has already made its mark in recent years as one of the most successful franchises of the decade. This signing is a game-changer, as the Warriors are already a title contender with a roster featuring the likes of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Adding Embiid into the mix creates one of the most potent lineups in the league, combining elite shooting, playmaking, and an unprecedented inside presence. The Warriors' small ball, three-point heavy approach, which has revolutionized the NBA over the last decade, will now be complemented by the brute force and skill of Embiid in the paint. For the Warriors, this move signals their commitment to staying at the top of the league. With Curry and Thompson approaching the later stages of their careers, the addition of Embiid gives the team a new focal point around which they can continue to build championship-contending rosters. Embiid's presence also allows the Warriors to explore different strategies, balancing their high-paced offense with the ability to dominate inside the paint. On the other hand, the Philadelphia 76ers are now left to rebuild around their remaining core. The loss of Embiid represents a major setback for the franchise, and fans will undoubtedly feel a sense of loss as the team looks to regroup in the post-Embiid era. The 76ers have had a tumultuous few years, with constant drama surrounding the futures of their star players, and now they must adjust to life without the reigning MVP. The impact of this trade extends beyond just the two teams involved. The entire NBA landscape will shift as other contenders in both conferences assess how to respond to the Warriors' newfound strength. Teams in the West, like the Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Lakers, and Phoenix Suns, must now recalibrate their plans, while Eastern Conference teams will face a more formidable opponent in the Warriors, who will undoubtedly be a force to reckon with in the coming seasons. This move has made it clear that Joel Embiid is no longer content with individual accolades. His decision to join the Warriors shows a clear desire to win a championship, and with a roster stacked with proven winners, Embiid might have finally found the right team to fulfill his lofty goals. As the season progresses, all eyes will be on the Warriors to see how their new superstar meshes with the established core, and whether this seismic move leads them to yet another NBA title. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.